I am so happy to see my next guest finally get a fight booked. He's going to be taking on Ilia Topuria, UFC 282, December 10th. It's Bryce Mitchell back here on the program. Bryce, how are you?
I'm doing great, brother. Thank you for having me.
Hey, pleasure is all mine, man. I mentioned it there. I know it was difficult getting an opponent. Tell me how this all came together with you settling on Ilia Topuria as your opponent.
Well, there really wasn't any other options. It's pretty much the way that I had to do it. And all that stuff's out of my control. You know what I'm saying? So this is a fight that was pretty much I was told that I needed to have. And so I'm going to take it.
Understand. Yeah, I guess is it because everyone's booked up or what's sort of the reason?
Yeah, I mean, I believe that I know what the reason is, but there's all sorts of reasons that they said they can't get me a higher ranked guy, but that's all out of my control. And basically this guy was calling me out anyways, so he's getting it. So he's the one. He won the lottery. He got what he wanted. So that I have no control over it. I just show up and fight, and that's the opponent that was given to me.
Was the negotiation a bit easier with the fact that you guys have the same management group, or did that not make a difference?
It didn't really make a difference. If anything, maybe it made it easier because of the communication, I guess, between management. That was probably done inside, so that was probably easier for them. But I don't know. He was talking shit, so he gets the fight that he wants, so that's really my understanding of what happened. He calls me out, talks all this shit. I need a fight on November 5th, and he's running his mouth, but then he don't want to fight on November 5th, so we move it back for him, and
Right.
That's fine. I mean, we'll wait for him, and we'll let him pick the time and the spot and all this shit. I don't care. I'm just needing to fight at this point.
Yeah, you're supposed to fight obviously this Saturday against Voliev. So Voliev's injured. His opponent Edson Barbosa's injured. It kind of made sense, I guess, to pair the two of you together. But the issue was he couldn't make weight, right? I think that was the problem as far as you guys not fighting this Saturday. I heard something about he wanted to catch weight. What happened there?
Yeah, he didn't want to make the weight. So, yeah, they asked if I wanted to do it at 55, and I don't want to. So if he wants to not cut weight, he can just fight when he sees me. He can just walk up to me and we can start fighting. And no cutting weight, no nothing. We'll just street fight if that's what he wants. But if we're going to do a cage fight, I want to do it at 145. That's where I compete at.
Any concerns about him making weight? I know you rebooked this fight to the 10th, but he, fought at lightweight in his last fight. The fight before that, he was supposed to fight your old opponent, Voliev, and there was some issues there with the weight cut. Does that cross your mind at all? I know you'll fight anyone, but are you worried about him missing weight?
No, it's one of those things that's out of my control, brother. I don't worry about it. But yeah, I'm expecting there to be an issue for him making weight. You're right, and he has had problems making weight before.
And just last thing before we talk about sort of before the fight, were there any other opponents in the mix at all? Because I know a lot of guys are injured or booked up, but were there any other names thrown your way, or was it always going to be Ilia as your replacement opponent?
I mean, there was the guys who were stepping up and could make the weight. They didn't want to make that fight, and so I wanted to go on November 5th, but really, the good Lord didn't want it to happen, and His plans are greater than ours. And I mean, I'm enjoying this extra 6 weeks that I have to train, and it's all out of my control. And I tell you what, it just wasn't meant to be. I do believe I'll get the main event back one of these days.
Yeah, that's the other thing. How did that impact things? Because you were supposed to fight 5 rounds. Now you're fighting 3 rounds on UFC 282. Does that change with the contract? Like, how does that work?
Well, I've signed the contract for that fight, and it's 3 rounds. So they just put it in there 3 rounds instead of 5. But
would you have wanted 5 instead of 3?
Yeah, I think it does favor me, but
yeah.
I'm happy either way. As long as, I got a good fight. So
yeah,
I'm just happy about the upcoming paycheck, some stability coming. You know what I mean? I know that, within the next 2 months, I'm getting a paycheck. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, and it's good to see you back, man. How are you looking at this fight from a style perspective? Obviously, you both of you are very well rounded as far as your skill set.
I believe that I'm going to win wherever the fight goes, but December 10th, we're going to find out who's better.
Did you watch his last fight against Jai Herbert? And if so, what did you think of his performance?
Was that at 55?
It was. Yeah, it was the fight where he actually almost got finished. Herbert was, hitting him pretty early.
Where he got kneed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that. And that's where you find out a lot about a guy's character and fighting and stuff. And, he's tough. He can overcome adversity. And I'm not expecting this to be an easy fight.
Training camp, is there anything different going on this time around? Or is it just, you're winning these fights, you might as well keep things how they are, right?
Well, absolutely. I mean, there's kind of both sides to that answer are right. We're always making little adjustments, but at the same time, we're going to stick to what we know works. But I don't want to make it appear as that I'm stagnating, like I'm always trying to look to advance. But, I do believe I know how I'm going to win the fight.
Training partners. I know you're training with our mutual friend, downtown TJ Brown. Who else are you getting to work with as far as bodies in the gym?
Jeremiah Colum, Dylan Johnson. That's I don't know if you know TJ's little brother or not.
I've heard the name. Yeah. I know he's an up and comer too, right?
His little brother. He's
Yeah.
damn big as both as me and TJ combined. But it's TJ's little brother. He's huge. His name is Dylan. But I've been working with Dylan, and I'm telling you, man, it's good. It's great training. Lucas Brennan. Like I said, me and Jeremiah Cohen been training. Me and Zoba, me and AJ been training a bunch. Just bunch of people, really. Atai, Rolly and me rolling all the time. It's just tons of high-level partners, brother.
Any thought on I know TJ's gone a bit over to Glory MMA and trained there with James Krause. Has there been any thought of that? I mean, again, if you're winning, why change anything? But is that something you ever see yourself doing?
I have been training with Krause.
And, have you? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes, he's a great coach. I think he's a great friend, too. He's a real respectable guy, But I've been training with him. Actually, he's going to be the fourth in my corner.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
For the main event. Now, obviously, I don't have the fourth in the corner no more, but he was going to be. I mean, he's that well-rounded and he's that sharp, and I trust him and all that. And he's going to be the fourth in the corner. But that main event got canceled.
Right, I see. Oh yeah, you would have had the fourth if it was the main event. That makes sense. Now, did you go down to Glory and train there, or did Krause come to you? How did that work?
Well, we trained in Vegas some because we were both there for TJ's fight weeks, and then I went up to Kansas City. I went up. One of my best friends, he lives up in Kansas City, and went up to his place doing some barbecuing, and they have all them festivals up there, for barbecue. But I went up there just to hang out with my buddy, and went to his gym and just absolutely love it.
Yeah, and it seemed like you and Krause got along. We don't have to revisit this story, but I heard about the sock story Krause mentioned on his Instagram. Seemed like you guys got along really well because you guys are kind of opposites in a way, right?
Well, hey, man, opposites attract. What can I say? But no, I don't even think we're that much opposite, but we do. Huh? There is some differences, like his movie selection. All right.
Okay, let's hear it. What's yours compared to his?
Now, I will say this, though. Okay. First, let me paraphrase.
Yeah.
Most of his movies are just like sissy movies, okay?
Okay.
But they just are, And but he put me on Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
And I absolutely love that movie.
There you go, finding common ground. That's good.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So we got more in common than we do in different.
What's your favorite movie, though? Like, if I say that, what comes to mind?
I love Remember the Titans. I love Lord of the Rings.
I mean, you had me at those two. Those are two classics right there.
Joe Dirt, Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt, yeah, Joe Dirt's a good. That's yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a classic. So you mentioned your corner. So I guess Rolly Delgado will be there. Who else will be cornering you? Krause won't be, you said, but who will be the second corner?
Well, actually, Krause will probably be the corner because TJ won't be. He's fighting that night.
Right. Okay.
Krause will probably do the warm up with me. You know what I mean?
That'll be
So
awesome.
actually, he will be in the corner because now that I think about it, me and TJ are fighting on the same card, and so that's the one thing that will be different about this is because me and TJ are always each other's warm up partner right before the fight, and we just don't want to warm each other up on a night that we're both fighting. I
Right.
mean, we get like really warm. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
he done almost knocked my tooth out last time warming up for his last fight, and because we had a move that we thought was going to work, and it would have. You know what I'm saying? But we were working a special move, and boy, he landed it on me in the warm up, and no, he hit me in the shoulder with it. You know what I'm saying? And damn near threw my shoulder out, in the warm up. And so that's why
Really?
me and TJ can't warm each other up before our fights if
Gotcha.
we're both fighting on the same night. It's just Krause is gonna have to do that. But just so nobody gets hurt.
Is this the first time you two have fought on the same card, like even dating back to regional when you're on the regional scene?
Yes, sir, I believe that it is. So it's
Do you like that? Is that kind of cool that you guys can both, you both come out with wins, you get to share the moment, or do you prefer being on separate cards?
well, I'm gonna enjoy it, brother, because I feel like it's God's plan. And
Mhm.
we didn't ask to be. We both just needed fights, and we both been training, and the timing is perfect, and I'm happy about it. I feel like it was meant to be.
How do you see the fight playing out on December 10th?
Me winning.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously signed the contract. Feel like you're going to win. Did you see a finish? Do you think it'll go the distance? What's sort of your outlook on the fight without giving out, too much away of the game plan?
Well, I better go in there and finish because you don't want to leave it to these judges, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had some weird decisions lately. We're a couple weeks removed from that Islam Makhachev and Charles Oliveira fight. What did you think of Islam's win over Oliveira? Were you surprised by that?
His win over Oliveira, yeah, I mean, I was surprised, but he's that good, and he's that strong too. And we've seen in the past that when Oliveira gets dropped, that the people are scared to go on top of him and engage, and or they just much rather engage on the feet. They think that it's more dangerous to get on top of him, but Islam didn't have a problem doing that. And I think that was a great part of a strategy because, um, I thought that Charles would just be a little bit more durable, but obviously, that's a different level of power, that you're dealing with there. And so I was surprised by the outcome.
Do you think he beats Volkanovski? It looks like they're going to fight next. Volkanovski moving up from your weight class to take on Islam.
Yes, I do think that he beats Volkanovski.
Okay. There we go. Where do you feel like a win over Topuria sort of puts you? Because the way things are going, man, you're going to be fighting for a title pretty soon if you keep these wins up.
Yeah, brother, I don't even know where it puts me, and that's one of those things, again, it's out of my control. I do not know what's going to happen, but I know what is in my control, and that's show up and fight to the best of my ability on the 10th, and that's what I'm going to do.
And you're still on the same contract as before, right? If I'm not mistaken, you have a couple more fights, or is this? Did you sign a new contract for this fight?
I believe I got 3 more fights, but it might be
Nice.
2. I just can't remember. It's either 2 or 3.
Yeah, I know you don't worry about that too much. We had an interesting fight a couple weeks ago, and I know you've kind of been tied to this. Sean O'Malley and Petr Yan. Did you have a chance to watch the fight? And if so, do you think O'Malley did enough to win?
I did watch the O'Malley Yan fight, and I only watched it once. Maybe if I rewatched it, I wouldn't have the same opinion. I don't know, but I thought that Yan won. I thought he won every round, but I was just watching it more just because it was exciting. I wasn't even thinking. I wasn't even trying to keep score. It was exciting. I was thoroughly entertained by the fight. But I just remember after the fight having this overwhelming sense of confidence that Yan won because I thought that he was on top more, got more takedowns, and actually did a lot of damage. He didn't make O'Malley bleed, but he hit him with some hard shots, and so I thought that he was going to win, but who knows? That's what I said. You got to get the finish these days.
And I know sort of heading into the fight, you felt like Yan was going to win. And I think O'Malley said something on social media after the fact. Did you see that? He was kind of going after you a little bit. Did you see that?
Yeah, he called me inbred.
Were you surprised to hear him say that after just like picking in a fight or something? Like you're just picking a fight. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm going to deal with that when I see him.
Okay. Is that a fight if he ever moved up, is that a fight you would want based after what's happened? Or I guess you're focusing on your own
Well,
career and
he's gonna have to move up, I'm sure. And I mean, he needs to. He's 6 foot something tall. He's what, 6'5" or some shit. You know, he needs to move up a weight class. Yeah, and I do believe that we're gonna clash.
how do you look at that fight from a style perspective if you were to fight him?
Well, he's gonna lose. He can pick how he wants to, but he's gonna lose.
Okay. And it looks like O'Malley might be fighting for the title next. We'll see. Aljamain Sterling's kind of, taking some time off, but if Sterling was to fight Sean O'Malley, how do you think that fight would play out?
Well, the reason they're not having the Sterling O'Malley fight is because they're wanting Aljamain to do anything but fight O'Malley right now because, they're trying to protect the guy that's worth the money. And O'Malley would get destroyed if he fought Sterling. And I think he knows that too. And that's why he's not over here saying he wants a title shot. But, yeah, Aljo would kill him. I mean, dude, I've trained with Aljo for 10 years, man. I mean, I just know what happens when you give him those positions that he got in with Yan. I know he wins the whole round. If you let him get to some of those positions, it won't be like Aljo gets my back and I'm just gonna reverse it real quick. Try to get back on. You're lucky to survive that round when he gets your back. And I can just tell by the way he fought Yan that Sterling's gonna kill him. And I've trained with Aljo for 10 years. Like I said, not a ton, but just on and off over the course of 10 years. I've been progressing and I've trained with him and I know what he's capable of. And that's just the truth of it. He's not ready to fight Aljo. And maybe if Aljo gets hurt or something, then he could have a chance at a title shot or if Aljo retires. But he can wait till Aljo gets hurt and can't fight until Aljo retires. He's not going in there and beating Aljo. He'll get his ass kicked trying. And he don't want that, and he knows that. The truth will come to light.
So that division's in a bit of a standstill, kind of like yours, right? Volkanovski, it looks like he's moving up. He'll fight Islam. Should there be an interim title in your weight class? Do you think? Do you care about that? I don't know if you pay attention to what's going on at the top of your division.
Well, if Volk moves up, I just, I like Volkanovski. I'm not wishing no harm upon him. I'm not at all. And that's a guy that I really like and respect. But he might get hurt fighting the Islam. He needs to stay in his division, and he says he's cleared it out, but he ain't cleared it out. You know what I'm saying? There's all sorts of people waiting on standby that would love a title shot, and I guarantee you put me in there, and well, I'm certainly going to be better in his last fight. See who they gave him for his last fight,
Yeah.
I mean, put me in there. I'll give you a better fight than that. And I don't know. Those are just my thoughts on it. This is some wood I've been making. I brought
Let's
this
see it.
from some cedar wood.
Looks nice, man.
Thank you. Yeah, me and my buddy Bob, we cut the tree down and we ran it through the that piece has not been planted yet, but we run it through the sawmill and then we run it through the table saw, then we run it through the planer. But this hadn't been planted yet. But that cedar wood, we're making boxes.
Oh, cool. That's good. Yeah, I love how you do all that. I'm sure that's nice to have, a hobby on the side, things to do outside of fighting to, not get like obsessed with this thing. You got other things going on, right? Balances things out.
Absolutely. I mean, I believe it. And, but I do love fighting. It brings me a type of excitement I can't get nowhere else.
Yeah.
But I do my best at it and I enjoy other things. It's not, I don't feel like I'm getting any better at MMA because I make cedar boxes. I actually think when I'm out there, you're getting a good workout when you're cutting that wood up.
Just last thing on your division, we had Arnold Allen get a win over Calvin Kattar last weekend. There was an injury there. Yair Rodriguez gets a win over Brian Ortega. There's an injury there. Should they fight each other? Plus, you have Josh Emmett, you have Holloway out there. Like, what do you think's going to happen? Because it's kind of your division's in a very weird spot with Volkanovski moving up. You've got these two wins that were injury related that were big, and then you got Josh Emmett waiting around. Like, what do you think's going to happen, or do you even care?
I believe that the cream is going to rise to the top. It always does.
Okay.
And that's what I believe is going to happen. And there's been a lot of bullshit. And I don't know, brother. It's going to work itself out. And here pretty soon. I do believe I'll be getting a title shot. I don't know how. I don't know against who and this and that. I don't know, but that's what I believe.
Has Joe Rogan taken you up on your flat Earth debate at all? I know you had the post recently.
No, he sissied out, but that's all right. The thing is, if I call somebody stupid and make fun of them for their beliefs, I'm going to explain to them exactly why, and so I could do that in a debate, but he wants to call people stupid but then not debate them, and that's my problem. If he wants to call me stupid, at least debate me. And then explain to me why I'm stupid and how I'm wrong, and I'll explain to you as to why I believe you're wrong. And I'm not calling him stupid. I'm just saying
You want to have a discussion. Yeah.
I want to have a discussion. If he's going to call me stupid, me and my mom and all my friends that believe it and stuff, he's calling all of us stupid. So I'm just telling him he ought to debate somebody like me, and he'd lose.
Would you want to go? Like, I'm assuming you'd want to go on his podcast. At some point, you got to get on there.
I mean, that'd be great. I think that'd be the best place to do it, because it would, I want to prove him wrong in front of as many people as possible. And so that's why I want the podcast. But if he wants to have breakfast at Waffle House and talk about it, that's fine with me. But
They should totally do that. Put it in a different environment. You guys can, get him to come out to you and film something. I'm totally down for that. That'd be great.
But I don't think he has time for that, or it's caring enough to do it. But here's the thing: is like, you just can't be calling people stupid because you don't agree with what they're believing, especially if you can't beat them in a debate. If you've debated them and you feel like they've avoided logic, then at some point, then you can think they're stupid. But if he can't beat me in a debate, don't call me stupid.
Well, people just need to get along in general. I think we got to discuss more things. We got to go out there, not be so, I'm right, you're wrong, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like in general, you had a great post. I got to give you credit for this. There was a post you had on your Instagram with 3 of your dogs and a cat, and it was a simple post, and it was cute, by the way, very cute seeing the animals all get together. But you're like, if they can all get along, why can't we? What was the feedback like on that? Because I agree with you. I think we're too polarized in today's world.
Yeah, actually, I love that post, brother. And it's, somebody asked on the post, they said, "What's your favorite animals on the farm?" And they probably thought I was going to say cows because I love steak, but I said cats and dogs.
Yeah,
because they give you love, and actually, cats keep the rats out, and the dogs they protect you. They keep the bigger stuff out. But yeah, I posted a video today of the dogs playing tug of war with this stuffed animal.
That's awesome. I got to check that out after. Animals are great, man. I think people are happier. Animal owners, I think, are generally happier. I'm a firm believer in that. I got a cat because he's easy to maintain. He's a great cat, and can't say enough good things about animals, man. So you're on the right track there. Do you have any hunting trips coming up?
I do. I'm hunting on Friday with Rowley and Brandon Lee, and maybe TJ will be there. I'm not sure.
What do you guys hunt?
Oh, we're deer hunting.
Nice. Okay. I think I've asked you this before, but have you ever done any hunting in Canada at all?
I sure haven't. I mean, y'all have real forests up there, brother. That'd be incredible.
Yeah, we got moose. We got all types of stuff up here.
It's just very expensive to do that type of stuff, and then transporting the meat back. And I'm not skilled in that type of hunting. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of in my groove here, and I know what I can get. You know what I mean? And that would be a real gamble for me to go up there and hunt. But if I got good at it and go up there and get an elk every time, or not every time, but could consistently get meat, that would be great. I just don't have those skills yet. I've never elk hunted in my life.
Is that something you'd want to learn though? Because it seems like you're really into this. And I also think like after your fighting career is done, I think, being like a hunting guide or something, that's probably something you'd want to do, right?
I think I'd be great at that. But
yeah.
Squirrel hunting, I think you probably need dogs to really get good results. But I'm happy with just getting one squirrel every time I go out, or 2 or 3, But I think the guys who really get them squirrels use dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Hey, Bryce, thanks so much for doing this, man. Always a pleasure. If there's anyone you'd like to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors or any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, I want to thank all my sponsors. Real Tree, Bigley, Shoot, so many of them, brother. It's hard to even think all of them, but just all
But
the
they
people.
can check out your Instagram because you're always posting them on there, right? That's the
I
key.
sure am, brother. You're absolutely right. And these people, man, they've really taken care of me. And love it. Oh, Jocko. I drink a Jocko every day. You know, he
Okay.
sends me all these Jocko goes. And yeah, so man, I love it, and I'm happy. I'm blessed, and I'm looking forward to being healthy enough to put on a good show on December the 10th. And thank you for spreading the word.